So it's time to get an alternator onto this engine. Now, I've decided to use the actual factory Range Rover Sport alternator. Now, why am I doing that? Well, I've been looking at some diagrams over the past few days before I started doing this conversion. And this alternator is actually Lin, the same as a LS alternator is. So they're both Lin, whereas an LS alternator is controlled by the engine ECU. And on the Range Rover, it's actually got its completely separate own ECU in the car. It's the battery monitoring system. So on the Range Rover, the battery has nothing to do with the engine ECU at all. So I'm thinking if we put this alternator back on, the car's going to be happy and it's not going to cause us any dramas. Whereas if we use the LS alternator, we're going to have battery lights and stuff coming on the dash, and we're going to have to work out how to convert those signals. So just one less drama. So I think that's what we're going to go and do.
It can be so hard to break the ice when the days get dark, can't fake the light. When it all adds up, try make it right. On fire, but it hurts to say goodbye. Still pray they face the fight. I find good kids, go take some life. They something said one day the sun, and just know it's okay to cry, it's okay to cry.
Clock slow, still ticks through the hard times. I count friends now living in the past life. They say the good pass by, and I ask why. Gotta find the light, star bright through the dark nights. Yeah, it can start before you see it. Gotta try to let it pass, but your heart is sore from beating when you're sitting in the thick of it and calm the storm to see them. Find another friend is cancer and they can't afford the treatment. Sort of pain that no one needs. We gotta show some love and just sow one seed. And everybody's getting sick, but it don't come free. Another day, another death, another GoFundMe. It can be a harsh world, can't choose your fate. We gotta use the grace and never lose our faith and process emotions when the music plays and sing the song as a prayer to get through the day. Yeah.
It's so hard to break the ice when the days get dark, can't fake the light. When it all adds up, try make it right. On fire, but it hurts to say goodbye. Still pray they face the fight. I find good kids, go take some life. Stay strong and said one day at a time, and just know it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry.
Yeah, it's okay to cry when
This is our little alternator bracket design so far. Now these bushes here I've had laying around for ages, and I've also had this one, it's the same one, I just ground it. But they are an absolute perfect fit in there. I didn't have to grind them down or nothing. Both of them bang straight in. And this other little one here is what we're going to weld. So this will be our little alternator bracket. Not bad. So I'm going to go and weld this up. See how it goes, and at least this way we can replace the alternator no problems. There's no modifications to the alternator at all. Alright, so here is the finished product of the alternator bracket. Now this isn't going to be how it's going to be. I'm going to send this to my friend and get him to draw it on CAD, and then we will either make it out of billet or steel, whatever he decides to do. But that is good enough for now. Well, that was another very, very easy job. Putting this alternator on, making up that top bracket, bottom bolt straight on. Now the other advantage to me having my mate fix these brackets up for me, yeah, they're ugly, but the other thing is they're all going to be on files. So if you guys want us to do this conversion, well, I'll be able to supply engine mounts, and all the brackets that we are making will be on file so they can be reproduced. Kind of running out of things to do in the engine bay at the moment until we get a couple of things back. Aircon hoses, finished making those. I also need to get some parts tomorrow. It's a Sunday today, so I can't get some parts for wiring up the starter motor and alternator. I wanted to get those knocked out. So I think I'm going to go and tackle the fuel pump, because I'm pretty eager to see how I'm going to be able to set this up. I wouldn't mind having like a drop-in setup, so you can get like the triple pumps, 1000 horsepower setup that drops straight in, but I don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, I'm keen to go check out what's going on with the fuel system, and we can work out what parts we need to order. Lucky for me, I'm an absolute expert of pulling these interiors out. I've pulled this interior out once, I've pulled my autobiography interior out twice. so I know exactly how these things come apart. Hopefully we only need to take just this one seat out, so they're actually separate. One's on its own and the other one is the middle seat and the left hand side. Okay, if you did want to know how to get these seats out, basically underneath you have these clips and you just need to push in the little lock on either side and pull up. Yep, part of my Starlink cable that the dog has chewed up. Okay, so we just got one electrical connector here. Pull that out and then unclip the wiring from the seat. Just like that, we have the seats out. Okay, so yeah, here is our fuel pump. Now I was trying to look on the diagram to see whether this wiring was actually sufficient for a Hellcat pump, and it is actually pretty heavy duty wiring. It's like your normal fuel pump size wiring, so I think we should be good in that department. Now if I wanted to run something bigger, I would obviously have to run a relay. Just use that to trigger it. This is bad, so there's a lot of dirt down here, and I'm obviously not going to open this thing up like that, so I'm going to have to try and blow it out before I do that. It's probably going to blow it into the car. Better that than in the fuel tank. So, just rip this breather off, get that out of the way. I'm pretty sure from memory I ran this car dry too, so there shouldn't be a lot of fuel in there. That was my plan, just to drive it around until it was empty and then pull the engine out. So that's definitely the return. Oh no, we got diesel pissing out. A little arrow, return. And this is our feed. It's a bigger hose. There we go. Just needed a good hit. This is going to put diesel everywhere, and the last place I want it is on the carpet because it's going to stink. Okay, that's the top plate off. Seal, breather I was talking about. Don't know where that goes. Then we have, this is one of the lines that was on the bottom plate. Most likely that's the return. And then this is our feed out of the pump. So I can see something crossing to the other side of the tank. And I just unplug this. That's another fuel sender by the looks. And then I can also see another hose down here that I'm going to have to pull off. That also goes to the other side. And then oh yep, give her a twist. There we go. Fuel pump is out. Oh shit.
Make sure that when you pull it out, you don't pull out there's a magnet. At the end of it, that was it. You just pulled out. Okay.
Broke something off, I think. Alright. Come out, you dog. And it's stuck. There we go. I thought I broke something off, but I'm pretty sure it's, oh yeah, it just came unclipped. Whatever this thing does. Sure it'll be fine. The other problem I have is, obviously this car's diesel, the LS is petrol. I need to get absolutely every drop of diesel out of this fuel tank. Now with it being two sides, I don't know, I'm probably going to have to drop the tank somehow. Get this thing high enough to drop it to clean out that tank, because there cannot be a single drop of diesel in this fuel system. But for the time being, I'm probably going to disassemble this fuel pump and see if we can get some sort of Hellcat pump in there, or something decent that flows enough to, like, I'm still obviously for the motor I'm going to need a better fuel system, but this will be enough to feed like a surge tank or something like that. The other thing I may do is measure this and see if we can get like a direct drop-in fuel system for this, so then I don't have to run a surge or anything like that. We can just drop a triple pump system in there and she's good to go, run some dash 10 lines. The only problem is the fuel sender. I have to obviously make sure that is in the exact same location. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have a bit of a play around and see what I can come up with. Roughly 130 mil. I'll be very amazed if this is like the same size as a VE Commodore. Let me get on Google and see what we can find. So there's definitely no option of putting a drop-in fuel system into this car because of the tank, the way it is. The fuel pump sits on like an angle, so the pumps wouldn't be on the floor. And that makes sense as to why this fuel system is on these hoses, and then this part actually sits on the floor of the fuel cell. So unfortunately, we're going to have to stick with this setup, and then we will run a surge tank with some additional fuel pump. Let's wasted the last couple of hours looking into this fuel pump, what I can do, how to get this thing to work with like an aftermarket fuel pump in here. And then I just realized that, well, the SVR is a factory supercharger V8, so why not just put an SVR whole fuel pump assembly in there and be done with it. So that's what I'm going to do.
Books closed, read enough pages. Short term, they forget about favors. Walk slow, had to navigate changes. Next step, then best friends become strangers. Many claim they're a friend to me, but there was too many times I was left to bleed. So I gotta cut ties just to let them see. And I guess it was meant to be, it was meant to be.
I got love these days, I don't need fear. It's too cold, still can't feel the heat near. And I thought we'd come too far to be here. Clouded with doubt, but I found now I see clear. Long road, many nights in the gas, cause the bag gets heavy with the size of the rack. Sale said you can count true friends in one hand, but I learned that it comes with many knives in your back. You can hide in the trap with the best intention. Search for an answer, neglect the question. Accept the tension when it gets intense, or anything they forget to mention. Had to find strength in the spirit, stuck sitting in the cage. Still riddled with the pain from the fitting in the rage. When the stories get told while they're digging up a grave. And I've changed, so I'm ripping up a page just to live another day.
Books closed, read enough pages. Short term, they forget about favors. Walk slow, had to navigate changes. Next step, then best friends become strangers. Many claim they're a friend to me, but there was too many times I was left to bleed. So I gotta cut ties just to
Alright, we got the motor back to a bare block now. I lifted it out, took the sump out, cut some more out of the sump, and just slipped it back in. So we're going to check the clearance now. Looks like we got heaps, and then we can get this sump welded up. Yeah, now we got heaps on this side, so that's perfect. Flatten that out there. Should be a good thing. So we got the parts back from the fabricator. So he's done the sump, done a wicked job on that. Looks good, should be plenty of clearance. And the only reason we done it on an angle like that was just simply because it was easier, rather than having to weld in multiple spots and create like a diamond shape. It was easy just to put like a bit of angle in there, so that's why the sump is cut like that instead of like flat how I had it. But yeah, it doesn't matter, plenty of volume in there still. And then also the heater hoses, he's done those, welded them up. Now he did forget to flare the ends, but that's not a problem. I will do that myself, or potentially just get him to do it later when I get some other things made. We also have the aircon hose, he's done that. And then I've got the hoses here as well with the ferrules, so we can get these aircon hoses done. So I think I'm gonna go and pull the engine back out once again and put this sump on so we can secure these aircon hoses, and then we can make them up, get that out of the way, and then we can just keep on ticking jobs off the list. So I don't know, for what, the third time now it's coming back out. Alright, I wasn't going to bore you guys with pulling out for the third time, so I've just gone and done that. We got the sump back in there now, and we have so much clearance. Check it out, that is sick. Heaps of clearance here for the diff, plenty of room. So that's perfect. We got our clearance at the back. We've got our aircon line secure again to the sump. Now we can make these up and get those ticked off. The hose size is 12, so we need our size 12. Bang that in the crimper, and we'll crimp this hose up. So I just put a pink line here, so when I crimp it I know it's going to be in the right spot. Bottom one's done. So that's our suction all done, all crimped up. Now I don't really like this dual wall, it's so big. It's not like the single wall here, it's much smaller. but unfortunately this is all I could get, so that'll have to do. Now we can go ahead and make up the discharge and the aircon lines will be done. Now I have had to drill out the ferrule for it to be able to lock over this part like so. So it's not the best, but yeah, hopefully it'll do its job. Right, the aircon lines are on. They do fit. I'm not overly happy with them just because of the dual wall barrier. Yeah, they're not as flexible as you would like, and they do take up a lot more room. So I may look at changing those down the track, but they will do for now. They're both on, both done, both bolt up. So yeah, that'll do. I just don't like the rubbing there, so we may be able to manipulate it later. We'll wait until we get all the belt assembly and everything on, and then we'll look back into them. Now we can go and bang on our flash heater hoses. I probably will paint these black eventually, but for now they will just be staying like this. How good does that look? Put this one on here. There we go. Heater hoses. They look factory as anything. All done. So that's another job ticked off. Aircon lines are done. Heater hoses are done. Alright guys, I think we will leave it here on this episode. We've got a heap done once again in this one. Stay tuned for the next one. We will be doing transmission lines.